If you love soundtracks the way that I love soundtracks, then you have come to the right place, my friend. We have got a lot to cover today. This is going to be a soundtracks galore extravaganza show and tell event here at Ted the Soundtrack Guy. We've got items from our local record store here in Portland, Oregon, Music Millennium. Yes, I've been back. I've been back more than once. You're going to see all of the goodies that I've picked up recently from said retailer. And not only that, I'm going to divulge what it is that I got for Christmas just past 2025's Christmas Day, and what my wonderful wife gifted me for that occasion. And boy, did I marry right. For more reasons than one, of course. She is an absolutely incredible woman, and I fully intend to have her on the show at some point going forward. I'm going to pick her brain about what her favorite soundtrack is and things of that sort. I'm very excited about that event. But in the meantime, we're going to start with what it is that she got yours truly for Christmas. And from there, we'll venture into all kinds of soundtrack-related goodies, not all of which were purchased at Music Millennium. Some of them were bought online. I've got a few unboxings to do. As a matter of fact, there is one box that I'm going to hold off on until the very, very end of this video. It's going to be the grand finale because of the size of the box. And here it is. I know what's in here. So I'm going to wait because I think you're going to be quite impressed with the item. It's not items, it is item, singular. So what on earth could this possibly be? I'm very excited. Let's get started first with what my wonderful wife, Veronica, bought me for Christmas. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to show off all my soundtracks today. This is the first soundtrack that I opened, and we start off with a bang, my friends. This is the Quartet Deluxe 3-disc remastered release to Ennio Morricone's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I mean, can we just stop the video right here? Because how are we supposed to improve upon something like this? This is one of the most magnificent, one of the most legendary and classic spaghetti western film scores ever written. And of course, the great maestro Ennio Morricone has written plenty of them, but this is the first Christmas present that I was gifted, and boy was I ever excited. I was just as excited, if not more excited, than our 3-year-old daughter, who was tearing open her Christmas presents right alongside me. She's screaming, I'm screaming. It was a good time. This is another Christmas present, also from Quartet Records, and it is, of course, Cape Fear, the Martin Scorsese version of Cape Fear. And of course, we all know, I'm sure, that this is the Bernard Herrmann original score, but it is adapted, arranged, and conducted by the great Elmer Bernstein. And this one, I believe, is 2 discs. It is, in fact, 2 discs. This is one of my favorite Bernard Herrmann scores. Boy, you better believe I had my jaw extended to the floor when I got that one on Christmas Day. And last but not least, yeah, she only got me 3, right? What's up with that? But last but not least, we have Conan the Destroyer. Now, this is Entrada Records, as most of you are already aware, as well as the Conan the Barbarian, which I have somewhere on the shelf behind me, and it's 2 discs. This is a fantastic soundtrack. Mark the Movie Man, I've brought him up before in a previous video, said that Conan the Barbarian was his Desert Island soundtrack. And boy, it's a good pick. It's a really good pick. And Conan the Destroyer is also just a fantastic masterpiece by the great Basil Poldoris, and actually Eric Woods from the Cinematic Sound Radio podcast was telling me recently that the re-recording recorded by, let's see, I want to say it was conducted by Nick Rain and performed by the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra and Chorus. That is on the Prometheus label, I believe. I don't have this recording, but Eric Woods was telling me that he prefers, actually, the re-recording in the case of Conan the Destroyer, so I am going to have to get my hands on a copy of that one. And speaking of Eric Woods, and by the way, if you're not on the Cinematic Sound Radio podcast, you need to get yourself there. It's a fantastic odyssey of soundtrack love and appreciation and just in-depth commentary from one of the great icons in the community of film music appreciation. So go ahead and get yourself locked into that. And he was also playing on his Twitch stream, which he also has. Get yourself on there too. The soundtrack to, or at least one of the tracks to, the third season of the Orville. I think it's called New Horizons, and unfortunately it doesn't have a physical release as I understand it, but I am glad that it is at least available digitally. I didn't have the Orville soundtracks until I heard this track from New Horizons, so thank you, Eric Woods, for turning me on to this. This is season 2, which I found on Amazon for a really good price, since this is a 2-disc soundtrack, and I wasn't able to find the first season on Amazon, unfortunately, but I did track it down recently on the Movie Music Store, along with a couple of other titles, Die Hard, the La La Land 30th anniversary, I believe, and also The Order by Pino Donaggio. And that is a Van Damme movie with a great score. So I'm really looking forward to getting those in the mail. They're not here yet, so unfortunately I can't show them off in this video, but they are coming. And once again, speaking of Eric Woods, boy, we've got plugs for Eric Woods today. I have something kind of interesting to share with you for a brief moment that he turned us on to, again, on his Twitch stream. And it is the art of soundtracks. This is for the Mondo label. Now, for those vinyl lovers out here, this should interest you quite a bit. What I love about vinyl, probably more than anything else, is the big artwork, right? I love the big, large artwork all over the vinyl releases to the vinyl soundtracks that are out there. But it's nice to have it all in a book here for the Mondo releases, for their film scores that they've put out. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff in here. I don't even have time to go through it all. But, oh, here's Aliens. Here's Alien. Look at that. Look at that panoramic. This is amazing. You can see part of the xenomorph there. That's probably the queen, the tail there. But yeah, this is Aliens. And you've got just that awesome artwork. Hopefully you can see this, because this book is huge. But I mean, there's all kinds of great stuff in here. What else do we got in here? We've got Castlevania. Look at that. Just look at that. I mean, isn't that gorgeous? What else do we got going on in here? There's just all kinds of stuff. And I found this on Amazon too. She showed it off and I got on there and all of a sudden, boom, there it was. Here's Back to the Future. You can see Back to the Future. Anyway, this is a pretty cool book. For you vinyl lovers and for you soundtrack enthusiasts, it's worth picking up. Now, it should probably come as no surprise that some of what I record for these videos doesn't make it into the final video, and I have to leave it on the cutting room floor. So, one of those things was this particular batch of CDs that I had unboxed in my last unboxing video, but again, none of you saw it because it didn't quite make the cut, as it were. But it is such an event, in my opinion, that I just had to sneak it into this one. This is a little bit delayed. This is for Yavar Muradi from the Goldsmith Odyssey podcast, which you also need to get connected to if you have not. For any Goldsmith fan, for any film music fan, this is one heck of a podcast. Get on there right now. This is coming from the man whose favorite film music composer is obviously the gentleman right behind my shoulder there, the great Jerry Goldsmith. Anyhow, Yavar Murati turned me on to this little stack of CDs, and I didn't have a single one of them when he got me interested. And they are what? They are the soundtracks to the Netflix TV series Cobra Kai, yes. And I joined this bandwagon at the very, very last second, right when essentially they were starting to sell out, disappear, and become very hard to find, and you were only going to get them if you coughed up a pretty penny like on eBay or something. But here they are. I managed to track them all down. Number 1, Cobra Kai 2, we've got number 3, we've got number 4, we've got number 5, and we even have part 6, season 6. And the previous 5 seasons were all from La La Land Records. This one is from Mutant Records, and I want to say that this is like 3 discs. 3 discs here. This is amazing. And what's interesting, speaking of Music Millennium, which we're going to get into my Music Millennium finds here, they had this at Music Millennium. I had already ordered it and gotten it, but I couldn't believe it. It was there. So anyway, pretty cool. And also, speaking of Yavar Murati, I get the feeling that one of his absolute favorite Patrick Doyle soundtracks is, and yes, this came from Music Millennium the last time I was there, Carlito's Way. Yes, indeed, it was there. I found it. Isn't that something? Believe it or not, I never had this. I've been familiar with this score for quite some time, but I never actually had it on CD. This is one, and I'm sure Yavar would agree, that absolutely needs to get the deluxe treatment from Perez Saraban. Please, we are waiting. We've been waiting right along with Needful Things. Come on, we've got love for Patrick Doyle, don't we? Let's do this. Also, just as an aside to La La Land Records, I know that their television soundtracks, some of them haven't sold quite as well as they ought to have. Speaking of the Oroville, right, which I also just got involved in, just to kind of show off a few more TV soundtracks from La La Land that I absolutely love, and that is the Supergirl soundtracks. I've got all 3 of them here from La La Land Records, and kind of like the Oroville with season 3 in that case, season 4 of Supergirl doesn't have a physical release, I don't think. Certainly not from La La Land Records, but please, let's support these record labels in every category of film music, including television music. There's so much good TV music out there. The last box set that I got from Entrada Records on my previous unboxing video for Fear Street, the Netflix television series Fear Street, Marco Beltrami and company, it is so good. Come on, people. Good music on TV, please. Let's get these records sold and listened to. Okay, here we go. We are going to kind of speed through my Music Millennium finds for sake of time, because we still have to get to those last unboxings at the end of this video. So, number 1 find from Music Millennium, we have got, these are sealed. This one is sealed at least, with a used price, $10, The Day the Earth Stood Still. This is the re-recording of The Day the Earth Stood Still from Perez Saraban, Bernard Herrmann's classic score. And what's cool about this, I'm reticent to even open this because it still has the original price sticker on here from Tower Records, $18.99, back in the day when Tower Records was still around in my neck of the woods anyway. It's long gone now. But yeah, this one's conducted by Joel McNeely. Awesome, awesome stuff. Love Bernard Herrmann. This one shocked me because Man on a Swing from Lalo Schifrin has been out of print on Quartet Records for quite some time. $6. $6. I couldn't believe it. I saw it. I was like, oh, this thing's got to be messed up or something, totally scratched up. Booklets, you know, torn or something, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's literally in like near mint condition. No scratches on the disc. $6. Man on a Swing. Couldn't believe it. This one, some of you know about because I made a little post. This was from a previous visit at Music Millennium, but I just thought I'd tuck it in here because it was such a find. I had this back in the day, but Here it is, the boys from Brazil, brand new sealed Entrada special collection. It's got a $25 price tag on it because they obviously knew it was out of print. But how cool is that? Limited to 5,000 copies. Here it is again in my collection, and it's not even opened yet. I couldn't believe it. Here's another good find. Speaking of Bernard Herrmann, we've got the Kentuckian. This also includes Williamsburg, the story of a patriot. So awesome find. This is a re-recording, again, the tribute film classics series, and it is just so wonderful. From William Stromberg, the Moscow Symphony Orchestra. They did She as well, Max Steiner's She, and that is just one heck of a recording, re-recording. So I know that one's gonna be fantastic too, although as you can see, that one was sealed too, brand new, hasn't even been opened yet. Here's one from Mark Isham called Losing Isaiah. Don't know anything about it, but $6, and I thought, what the heck, let's give it a shot. Here's a classic from James Horner, Enemy at the Gates. This is a really, really good one. I was just recently listening to an episode from Jason Drury's The Archive on the Cinematic Sound Radio Network, where he does his show there too, and he was doing a top 10 James Horner extended cues, because he writes these big long cues. And he had a really great track from Enemy at the Gates on there, found it. And by the way, all these, I don't buy the soundtracks when they're used if the CD's messed up, if it's got scratches on it, or if there's something wrong with the booklet or anything like that. The jewel case, I'm not too worried about because that can always be replaced, but everything else is like mint. Okay, moving right along, here's some John Williams love. Angela's Ashes, another title I used to have back in the day, $6. This has got some absolutely gorgeous music on here. I love this soundtrack, and I'm really glad to welcome it back into my collection. Now here we go. I said in a previous video about Music Millennium finds that you can't have too many copies of a single Jerry Goldsmith score. It simply isn't possible. And in that video, I was showing you the soundtrack to the Blue Max from the Legacy Columbia label. And I found that there at Music Millennium. Well, guess what I found at Music Millennium the last time I was there? The Blue Max, again, only this is the Entrada Special Collection version of the Blue Max. It's got a $15 price tag on it. Again, they knew that this was rare, but it's sealed, it's brand new. And $15 is actually cheap. I mean, if you try to find this particular version of this online, because by the way, I also have the Blue Max on the La La Land 20th Century Fox CDs. I've got that back here too somewhere. So I've got the Blue Max like 3 times at least, not counting the re-recording, which I also have. So that's 4 Blue Maxes that I've got. But you can't have too many Goldsmith soundtracks of the same soundtrack. It just isn't possible. This is gonna blow your mind, because my jaw hit the floor again like it did on Christmas. The Blue and the Gray from Bruce Broughton. Also, the Entrada Special Collection Edition. It's 2 discs. Unbelievable, sealed. I don't know if you can tell. This is still in the original wrapper. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? And then my jaw hit the floor again when I saw the price tag they had on here, which is $30. Yikes. But I thought, well, $30, I mean, that's really not that bad considering the fact that it's still technically new. Even though they've got the used orange sticker on there, it's not opened. So you better believe I picked that one up. And here's an interesting one. You know how crazy I was about Michael Giacchino's The Fantastic Four First Steps? Well, we've got The Fantastic Four, and this one is music by Marco Beltrami and Philip Glass. Eric Woods also introduced me to this one on one of his episodes there for his flagship show on the Cinematic Sound Radio podcast that he does, and I heard a little bit of it and I was sold. So there you go. We started this video with a little Ennio Morricone, and here we go. I found In the Line of Fire by Ennio Morricone at Music Millennium. I love this soundtrack. I've always been a big fan of it. I had this back in the day. You're going to be hearing that a lot. You have heard it a number of times already in my previous Music Millennium video, but welcome back, In the Line of Fire. I think it's a great score. I love it a lot. This one, boy, Christopher Young, Mwah! You know, I love Christopher Young, and I think that he's extremely underrated. Those who love him, the people that are really hardcore in the soundtrack world, yeah, he's got some fans, but on the whole, he's just not celebrated enough. He should have won an Academy Award at least 1 or 2 times already. I love Christopher Young. This is brand new. It's got a sticker on here, out of print, and then a price tag of $15 on here. It's a good thing I had a 20% off coupon when I bought all these CDs, but this is Creation from Christopher Young, and I've been looking for that soundtrack for a long, long time. It's one Christopher Young I never had, believe it or not. James Horner's A Beautiful Mind also had this back in the day, of course. What soundtrack lover didn't have it at least one time in their collecting lives? Had to bring it back. I love this soundtrack. It's got some of the best music that James Horner has ever written in that particular score. This one is cool. I loved it back in the day when Perez Sarabande was doing all these re-recordings. This one is from Peyton Place, and it's conducted by Frederick Talgorn and performed by the Royal Scottish National Orchestra. And of course, it's from Franz Waxman, one of my favorite Golden Age film composers. There's the gentleman right there. And speaking of Peyton Place, I also have here handy the La La Land Records version of the original soundtrack recording, Peyton Place. Just by the way, both excellent soundtracks, you gotta pick them up. This one was really interesting, and it's signed, it looks like, to me at least. It's called I Have Never Forgotten You from Lee Holdridge. And there's his signature right there, Lee Holdridge. I couldn't believe it. Once again, mint condition. It's beautiful. $6. Most of these are $6. I'm pointing out the big sticker prices just because they're kind of like sticker shock, but most of them are $6 from Entrada Records, long out of print. Never had that one before. This one is another one of those wonderful re-recordings from Perez Sarabande. Jerry Goldsmith conducting, one of his most favorite film music composers that really influenced a lot of his work, Alex North, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Again, from the National Philharmonic Orchestra in this case. This isn't the Royal Scottish, this is the National Philharmonic. But wonderful, wonderful stuff, I'm telling you. And this one, you thought that we did the ultimate Bruce Broughton already, right? Well, we probably did, but here's another really cool and interesting and rare Bruce Broughton soundtrack. This one is True Women, also from Entrada. I want to say this is like 1997 or something. This is definitely out of print. In any case, even though it's not technically a limited edition, but this is out of print. This is long gone. Beautiful, beautiful mint condition CD. Picked it up. I mean, it was a treasure trove when I went into Music Millennium there the last time. Just a few more Music Millennium finds and we will rush right into the brand new CDs and the unboxings. We've got another wonderful little soundtrack from the great John Williams, Stepmom, $6. It's a no-brainer. I never had the physical copy of that soundtrack either, although I've listened to it tons of times digitally. I listen to that a lot while I'm writing, actually, I find. Along with Christopher Young's The Dark Half. You want to get in the zone as a creative writer. The Dark Half by Christopher Young. Crank that puppy and you will be spinning tales you didn't know you had deep and down inside your heart, let me tell you. Here's a wonderful soundtrack. I don't hear people talking about this one very much, and I don't know why. From James Horner. Joshua Bell does the solo violin work in here, and there's a lot of it. It's Iris, and it's just an absolutely gorgeous score. It really is. I mean, this, to me, this is a riveting listen. It's an absolutely riveting listen from front to back, start to finish. This is a beautiful score from James Horner. I really just applaud James Horner for that effort. It's one of my favorites. Another Christopher Young, and it's sealed. Look at this, it's still in the shrink wrap. We've got an $18 price tag on this one. Untraceable, I had this also back in the day, but I figured there it is, it's new, and it's, if you can find it at all online, it's gonna be a lot more than 18 bucks if you can even find a new copy anywhere online at all, and I doubt you even can. And last but not least, from Music Millennium, another epic horror score from Christopher Young, perhaps his most epic horror score of all time. Right next to perhaps his version of Nosferatu from the old black and white silent film Nosferatu, right up there with that, we have got Hellraiser 2, which, of course, I also had back in the day, and I had the GNP Crescendo version, this very CD, out of print. It says, once again, 20 bucks. Boy, I think Music Millennium is catching wise to the fact that I come in there and basically buy out all their stock when they get new soundtrack CDs, and they're like, these things are selling now because of Ted the Soundtrack Guy, so we better research which soundtracks are worth something so that we can make some money off of this guy. Well, they are making money off of me. Here it is, Hellbound Hellraiser 2. It's a fantastic, epic, gothic extravaganza, huge orchestra. Christopher Young in my favorite mode right there with this Hellraiser work. Okay, before we actually open a box, I'm going to show you a couple of brand new CDs that I recently got that I just could not resist opening the box for. Sorry, didn't wait for you. We've got Christopher Young. Boy, oh boy, he's showing up today, is he not? Hard Rain, this is the La La Land Expanded Edition. I want to say this is limited to like 1,000 copies. Well, I've got one of them sitting right here with me, and it's gonna stay that way. Jerry Goldsmith. Here we go, King Solomon's Mines, also from La La Land Records. I'm so glad for this release because I missed out on the quartet release. I did have Entrada's release of this way back in the day, but I've been deprived of it for a long time. Here it is, La La Land. When they released this, I did not wait. Boom, I bought it, and it was a done deal. Also, I'm not usually a musical guy, but Wicked, the musical, is one of those musicals that actually does work for Ted the Soundtrack Guy for plenty of good reasons, I believe. I picked up these soundtracks, Wicked and Wicked for Good, and probably the cherry on the cake, and that is John Powell's original score to Wicked for Good. Some great music in here, and I think they have a Japanese version of John Powell's score recording to the part 1 of the Wicked movie version. But it's obviously very difficult to find and kind of expensive. Okay, my friends, this is it. We're entering the final stretch. We've got 3 unboxings here. One of them is in a package, and then 2 boxes, and the third one being the absolute grand finale. So let's see what's in here. I know what's in here, actually. By process of elimination, I know. Okay, what do we got going on here? And I knew it. We've got Timeline. Let me do these one at a time, why don't I? I'm so excited, I'm trying to throw both of these CDs in your face. Timeline, Brian Tyler's Timeline. Perez Saraban, We Need Jerry Goldsmith's Rejected Score again. Please, thank you for releasing it before, but we need it again. Yes, and I ordered this right alongside, this is what made me fill up my cart, of course, Medicine Man by Jerry Goldsmith. Oh, the deluxe edition for Medicine Man. I mean, my heart is just soaring just thinking about it. I'm gonna have to cover this, officially cover this in a video and review this album. I cannot wait. Interestingly, I found the original release to Medicine Man and had it in my last Music Millennium haul video. And also, the last time I was at Music Millennium, they had the deluxe edition to Medicine Man there and the Brian Tyler's Timeline, both the deluxe editions. Those editions. I couldn't believe that either. I was like, boy, they really have kind of caught on to me, but I'd already ordered them, so I didn't need to buy the copies that were there. So here we go, opening the first of the last 2 boxes. Okay, here we have a little bit of Jerry Goldsmith going on here. Not that that should be any kind of a surprise, right? We've got, of course, the Chairman. I was a backer for this, no-brainer. Many of you were too, and I'm sure many of you have been enjoying the heck out of this one. I've been enjoying it because backers, at least on my tier, I got the digital version of this too, long before they ever shipped it. And so I've already heard this dozens of times. It's an absolutely tremendous re-recording. Hats off to everybody involved. The Royal Scottish National Orchestra, William T. Stromberg conducting, and of course we cannot forget Lee Phillips and all of the absolutely wonderful work that he's doing, bringing these older Goldsmith scores that have needed re-recordings into new and vibrant life. I am just so thrilled, honestly, and moved, really, in the deepest part of me, that people out there like me who love this music are doing everything they can to bring out the very best of it, where maybe time and unfortunate circumstances have kind of robbed us the privilege of hearing it in the best sound possible, the best performance possible, and all that. And that team there working with Entrada is just the A team. They're doing such a wonderful job. And yes, I backed Night of the Hunter as well, the newest Entrada re-recording Kickstarter. Get on there and do it too, believe me, because we've got about, 25 days to go or something like that. And we're gonna make this happen. Yes, we are. I'm excited. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. This is the grand finale. What do you think it is? Put your guesses down in the comments section below. And no, I'm not gonna send you a free copy of this if you're right, because this is one of the last copies that were available. And I'm sorry, my friend, as much as I love you, I ain't giving this sucker up. What have we got going on here? All right, let's get past all this packaging. Here it is. Oh, glory. I'm just looking at it like down in the box. Just beautiful. Here we go. What do we think it is? Here it is. The John Williams Harry Potter soundtrack collection. And yes, I was dragging my feet for a good while on this one. And really, do I need to tell you why? This one comes with a price tag, and for good reason. I mean, look at this. But it's a seven disc set with a total runtime of 7 hours and 57 minutes. So basically, we've got 8 hours of John Williams music for the first 3 Harry Potter films. This is just absolutely gorgeous. Limited edition of 5,000 units. I don't know how well you can see this. It's in the package, so it might be a little bit shiny. But look at this. I mean, is this just not absolutely beautiful? John Williams, I am just so excited. This one is gonna look really nice and pretty on this shelf. I've also got his Disaster Collection box set from La La Land Records. If I didn't mention that, La La Land, mwah, you deserve the chef's kiss, right along with Entrada, Quartet, and everybody else that has just put their heart and soul into producing these wonderful soundtracks. That's it, my friends. Thank you very much once again for joining me here on another Ted the Soundtrack Guy video. We've got a lot coming in 2026, a lot of surprises, so please stick with me. Have fun listening to film scores. We'll see you next time, and until then, happy listening.